Well, hello there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting excited for this brief, but as we make our descent, we land the plane for 2023. The question is our mind is, Mr. Jerome Powell, are you done? Are you done? Are you gonna land the plane? Are we done? Big mouth Jerome Powell. Sorry, I gotta say that because he just keeps saying stuff that doesn't make any sense to us that follow data. And you know, my friend Logan at Housing Wire is right. The Fed should probably give him an hour, let him give a nice presentation, because they would start to realize that they are late to the game. So it's amazing that I'll go on YouTube and watch all these clips from CNBC. I literally do it 5 days a week. I've been doing it years. So I listen to the Wall Street guys, the economic guys, the money managers, all this guys. There's so many different opinions. But what's interesting is some of them literally think we should still be hiking. Literally. There's Fed officials that think we're not done yet. And here's the thing is, we're probably going to look back in a year from now and we're going to know if Powell is late to the game, he was early to the game, or he hit it just right. So if you're a gambling person, what would you pick? He's going to be late to the cuts or early to the cuts. And here's the problem with late to the cuts, which we don't like. The Fed and all these guys, what they seem to like is they like to run everything and when it's a crisis and then deal with it, right? Pick something called the budget, right? We still keep kicking the can. They go right to the last minute budget and then just give some more money and we'll fix it later. So what we don't want is Jerome Powell to wait, and the shit hits the fan and then he's got to cut like 100 basis points. We don't want things up and down. We want things just normal. Why can't we start cutting now? What are we waiting for? Just start to cut now. I think you're late. You are a year late on inflation. You expect me to believe you and all your colleagues over there that you have it right. I don't believe you at all. And here is one thing that you said, Mr. Powell. You told us, the American people, and us real estate people have been sitting here getting our asses kicked and we're the ones taking the blunt. We're the ones that have been in a recession. Commercial's been in a depression because you decided to keep rates too long, then jack them up, and then sit here. And now we're starting to realize you're the one that said we need to what? We have to have a job loss recession to bring inflation down. Well, Mr. Powell, it is December, 11th of 2023. We have no job loss recession. The job market's actually strong. It is slowing down. Yes, we will get to that, folks, later. But it is strong. Inflation is way down all across the board. The consumer is tapped out. They're out of money. They're racking the credit card up. But you seem to think that somehow we're just going to keep going and going and going. And I get it. But here's the thing. You're the one that said we need to lose a few million jobs before we will see inflation drop. And you're wrong. So that is what I'm going to say about that. I'm venting because this week, Mr. Powell is going to talk. And dear God, I hope we could just end the year well. And you just come out and say we're done hiking and that we are going to start talking about cutting rates sooner than later because we're going to need to. And you know what would be really nice to say is you don't want to get this one wrong. And if you want a slow landing, you have to cut rates sooner, folks. If he waits too long, he will crash the plane. And so what's going to happen is like this. We're landing the plane. We can have a nice landing. Or we wait and we bring the plane right down there and just slam up on the thing and then slam on the brakes. You ever have this you're like, did this pilot just run this damn plane right into the cement and he slams on the brakes? You ever had that? Well, that's what we don't want. We don't want a crash landing. So anyways, I'm venting there, but Jerome Powell's talking this week. It's very important of what he says, what he does not say. And he really, really needs to understand that, yes, we're all humans. We make mistakes. We miscalculate things. Hey, I thought the consumer was going to fall off a cliff by now. So I was wrong and I admit it. But Mr. Powell, you're going to have to admit, just like you're wrong before about inflation, I think you're behind the curve. I think you know it. You just know you have this little toolbox where I'll just cut rates faster. But what we don't want is that just makes things all too funky and crazy. Just because you like it is not good for the rest of the market. That's what I'm saying, guys. Why not start with a quarter and slowly bring us down rather than just start cutting the legs off of people? Just like he jacked rates, you don't think he'll have to bring them down if we have some type of crisis or he waited too long? He will. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry for my long rant. This is Kenny Simpson with the Simpson team. This is the brief. If this is your first time here, Boy, I'm sorry you just had to listen to that rant. But do stick around because I have a lot of good information for you. And if you're back, I appreciate it. And guys, look, I appreciate all the feedback, the comments, the texts. I see you in person. I love it. I love it. I don't know what else you guys would want me to talk about, but I get the kudos. So I'm going to keep doing this thing and I'm looking to get started into 2024. But enough about me. Let's get into it. And what do we always talk about first? Yes, inventory. Nationally, 546, 424. How are we looking compared to last week? We are down about what? 10,000 units. So we're going into what? Wintertime, and wintertime is slower. When we're going to kick out of winter into spring, summer. And guys, you should know by now, spring, summer is the peak season. More inventory, more buyers, more sellers, and the market starts moving and grooving. So this is the best time to buy a house. Historically, fall, winter. Local here in San Diego, last week we're at 3,068 active. This week we're at 3,018 active, 382 new listings, 312 recent sales, 375 pending sales. So rates remain pretty flat. So here's what's going on in rates. I want to say this, I want to spend too much time because we got a lot of stuff to jump into. So rates are remaining pretty flat. We are ending the year in the next couple of weeks, right? So it's good and bad. The bad reason is if I go talk to Crystal over here and she talks to commercial lenders, sorry, commercial lenders, I'm sorry, but they just don't want to work in the holidays. They want to slow the thing down. They're like, why are we going to hit the gas on rates and let them rock? Let's just chill out, enjoy Christmas and the New Year's. And then when we come back around, we're going to slam that thing into 6 and drop those rates. Because one of our lenders, we got a lot of lenders in the 7s and the high 6s, but one of them decided, hey, we're going to start the party early, and they are sub 6. So if you got any questions about commercial lending and all that, you need to call, we call her Kay, Commercial Queen, whatever you want to do, Kenny Simpson. Give her a call, her information. You know how to find her. If not, just look her up, hit me up. But so that is always my telltale sign with commercial. Because look, Fannie, Freddie guys, it moves with the market. It's very easy, right? It moves with the market. We know what's going on. It's very simple. But look, non-QM, portfolio lenders, stuff like that, then I'm knocking on the door going, hello, are you guys going to lower rates? What is going on here? They will. I think because rates have been down a good, let's say 3 weeks, a lot of lenders are going, okay, rates are down. If we're high, we need to move them. But the second thing, do you know why they're probably saying that? Is because their volume's down. Because why would I go here when I can bring my clients over here and it's a point lower? So everybody's waking up. It's taking a little bit longer. Nobody wants to drop the rates and they go back up. This is obviously a big talk here with Big Mouth Jerome Powell. Sorry, pal. I got to say that because whatever you say moves the markets, which is insane to me. One person says stuff and it just creates good or bad stuff. It should not be like that, but it is. A lot of people maybe just want to see how this thing unravels towards the end of the year, how the consumer's doing. We have CPI, PPI, retail sales, Powell speaking. It's a big week. Maybe when we get past this week, they'll be good. But a lot of banks, unfortunately, guys, and lenders are not going to lower it until 2024. It's not going to be right in the first day, but expect that first week or two, hopefully, fingers and crow's sauce, we get some big market pullback and relief for all of us. As I mentioned, economic data, we've got CPI, U.S. federal budget, PPI, Powell talks, last rate hike, or not hike or nothing until 2023. Let's just say you're going to land the plane. We've got import price index. We got initial jobless claims. We've got manufacturing. We've got industrial production. We got retail sales. We got business inventories. My gosh, this is insane. It is a busy week. This is like the last hammer week. And then, we're going to be into 2024. So I love talking about data. It's so fun. So this last week, we were at a 4.11 10-year. And I was so excited because I thought we were going to get to 4. Then, old pal, that unemployment number went to 3.7. We thought it was going to go to 4. But then, as I always tell you guys, when we get news, if it's on CNN or from your grandma or from your uncle or from your relative that's sold one home in their life and they're a real estate expert, that's striking nerve because, we're going to have all these conversations around the Christmas Center. Everybody's a real estate expert. But here's the thing. As I sit there and I go, how is unemployment 3.7? I thought the job market's getting worse. But then I went to my handy brain and I remembered, Kenny, you study data and you know what's going on. So all these headlines and all these people and all this crap doesn't mean anything. Because I know one thing, folks. I know that a union, Hollywood, you ever heard of Hollywood that makes all those writers and the producers and all that? 17,000 went back to work. And then I know the car manufacturers, they came up with a deal, 30,000 or so went back to work, or 40,000. And I add those two numbers together. I go, oh, so why do you think we hit 3.7? Do you think things are getting better? No. The honest truth is, I even said that when it came out. It's because these manufacturing jobs are back. So this is a one-time, there you go. There's your print. And they're like, well, see, you got to keep watching the data because we might have to, hike. Look at that. Watch the data, follow the data, understand the data. Then you hear stuff like this. You go, that doesn't make any sense. I already knew it didn't. So I already knew the number was going to be higher, which affected rates, guys. So yeah, it bothers me. It's okay. This week's big. Let's hopefully get some good data and, that we're continuously slowing. And if that's the case, maybe the 10-year will hit 4%. We'll see. Hey, look, this is not going to be a straight down lower rate. It could be a bumpy ride, right? It's like investing in crypto. I'm just kidding. It's not that volatile. But anyways, okay, let's dive into things. How are we going to help people? What's going on in housing? One of the big things right now that I hear from loan officers, I hear from real estate agents, I hear from buyers, sellers, is a couple things. You currently have a house that's locked in at 2.5%. You don't want to sell it because you can cash flow and make money, and you became the accidental real estate investor, which I did. And then you're going to come over here and you go to, okay, cool, I want to buy this new house. The problem is all my money's tied up in this house, but I don't want to sell it. And the problem is I don't have enough money to put down this house. I can't go to mom and dad, can't go to Bank of Moab, can't win the lottery, could cash your 401k, or no, just borrow from your 401k, could do different things. But let's say, Kenny, I got all this equity. How do I use it? Well, guys, simple. Number one, if I buy a home, go tap and get an equity line. So equity line number one. Number two, if you are going to sell, let's say you are and you need the money, well, go get a gift. Cool. Go borrow the money from somebody. Easy. But what if you don't want to do a HELOC, but you can't afford that with the payment and get a new one? You're not going to rent out. What if you don't have a rich relative or parents? Or whatever, can't borrow money. There is one more choice, a bridge loan. So a bridge is what? If you have a house here and a house here, we need to get you from here to there. So we create a bridge. There's many bridge programs, guys. You could take a bridge loan on this that has a payment, a bridge loan that doesn't have payment, a bridge loan they sell and they charge you. If your clients want to sell and move over here, a bridge loan is great. And we wouldn't have to hit them with the payments. They don't have to sell right away. And guess what? For you sellers and buyers, if you're a seller wanting to be a buyer, remember, most sellers are buyers, right? You can move out. You can freshen it up. They can get all your crap out of there. Those realtors are like, we don't like your furniture. We don't like your paintings. You're like, what? My mama bought me that, right? I'm just kidding. But you can get rid of all that stuff. We can stage that house, paint it up, and you can get more money because all your crap's out of there. Oh, trust me, a stage house that's clean and fresh and all nice and all your crap's out there and there's no dogs running around and kids messing all that, it will sell for more than with that stuff. So anyways, that is one thing. Obviously, if you want to keep your house, you probably want to do a HELOC if you have a low rate, and we got to hit you can use that money. We will hit you for both payments, and obviously you can use rent to offset all that. So anyways, I think you know where I'm going. If you're having questions or problem qualifying, hit us up. There's bridge loans, there's HELOCs on primaries, HELOCs on investment. It can be full, it can be bank statement. Guys, we've got it all. Okay, so I want to refer to this article. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun. Why I'm pulling this up. And you guys are, okay. So I thought this would be fun. So a lot of people want to know what's going on with China, right? I don't really put too much news on China. Obviously, they're going through some real estate stuff. We're going to play a little clip here from our boy, Kyle Bass. If you don't know who he is, I'm not going to go into it, but he's a money manager guy, but he knows a lot about China.
Sure. Well, glad to be here, Andrew. I think it's important to understand the architecture of their system and what drove the great Chinese miracle on the economic side. It was unfettered growth and even speculation in the real estate markets. They've got upwards of 100 million apartments or condos that are vacant today in China. And again, the architecture of their banking system is really important to understand. They've got $57 trillion in banking assets.
As he says in this clip, I think there's over 100 million condos and apartments all together, whatever, that are vacant, that are there. Basically, China has a real shit show with real estate. They've got like a $4 trillion problem when we had an $800 billion. And a lot of people that on all these condos that are not being rented, I think 90% of the debt, whatever it is not being paid on. So this problem makes our 2008 look like a walk in the park. Would that be right? So let's take a look at Kyle Bass. I'm not going to comment more, but you can listen to this little clip here. Real quick, guys. I'm not trying to plug, but I am. If you guys are in the real estate game and you're not signed up for Housing Wire and you guys are not staying connected, shame on you. I'm just saying, it's like, for what they give you, this is the best data. Logan is the man. He's more right than wrong, like the other people. So anyways, okay, I'm not going to get to the whole thing. This article here talks about the AI fraud and what I wanted to tell you, what I'm hearing. So AI is going to be great. Also, AI is going to be really great to steal money from you. How are we going to do that? Well, somebody is going to be able to get a video that looks like you, a voice like you. They're going to do all this stuff like they do now, right? You can send money here. So what I'm projecting is AI is going to, like, they could call and say, hey, it's Sally from escrow. You need to wire money and here's the account number. Let me give you a couple tips how to not get scammed by AI if you're doing a real estate transaction, okay? Because what you're going to get scammed with most likely is sending money to escrow, and that's where they're going to get you. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're watching this, whether it's AI or somebody hacks your email or sends you a false email, let me give you the most important thing you can do. Rule number 1. When you're going to give your earnest money deposit to escrow, if they send you wire information, okay, you are going to make sure that you call escrow. And if her name is Betty Boo, that is at escrow, you need to make sure this is Betty Boo at whatever escrow company, right? So if they send you a fake number or this and it does not sound right, you need to be very concerned. So what you could do is, just to double check, is you get Betty Boo's email, and then you go to your agent or the selling agent, you go, look, I just want to triple check because this guy Kenny was on a video and said, be careful. So is Betty Boo's number this? Cool. You call Betty Boo. Hey, Betty Boo, I see that you guys bank at Wells Fargo, account number, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, perfect. That's where I wire my money. Perfect. Check, double check, triple check. I've had clients send money to, yes, the criminals, we got it back, but I'm telling you guys, I've heard the horror stories, people losing $1 million and hundreds of thousands. It happens all the time. Billions have been lost. Number 1. Number 2, if Betty Boo calls you at some point with a fake IA number, goes, hey, Kenny, you didn't send your money. Let me give you that account number over the phone. No, you're not. You are going to verify with Betty by send me your email, Betty, and call her back at her number. You just need to verify. And number 3 is, if it's AI, have a code word. I told everybody at your company, at your house, people are going to start saying, hey, this is your son. I'm stuck in TJ. I need 10 grand. They're going to murder me. You're going to have to, okay, cool, son. In order for me to get out, what is the code word we got? What? I don't know. Have code words. So what I'm saying, guys, if you're in escrow and you're wiring money to escrow, you should never just take the email, pick up the phone, verify it's Debbie, verify this is the bank. And if it sounds weird, if it sounds shady and you're not confident, go call the listing agent, your agent, say, I need to make sure this is Betty. Have you done business? Because most likely one of these escrow officers, one of these agents have worked with this escrow officer and they're aware of what's going on, right? So they can say, well, I know herself and I knew this. Double check, triple check. Don't assume AI will get you or anybody will get you. AI just, they're going to make it better and better. So we're going to have to get more and more defensive. I think what's going to happen is escrow companies are going to have to start say, hey, this is our code word. So if somebody calls you, it would have to be this code word. If I call you and I don't say this code word, then I'm not Debbie, right? Anyways, I'm ranting, I'm all over, but it's going to be very important to do these few things. So let me make it clear. If you're a buyer and you're in escrow, number 1, double check, triple check with escrow that this is in fact their number. This is their bank account. Number 2, down the road, if some person calls you and it says it's Debbie from escrow and they're asking you for money, if anybody asks you for money for escrow and gives you wire on the phone, that is a red flag. Stop immediately. Call your agent or they'll call a listing agent, and you're going to want to get Debbie Boo's cell phone number and call her and say, Debbie, did you just call me? No. Okay, I almost got scammed. And go directly with her. If somebody sends you an email with, here's my wire instructions and it's not a secured email, run. Verify, verify, verify. Do not assume anymore. Your money will go somewhere in Nigeria, China, whatever. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. If it sounds weird or it sounds fishy, just say something. Call your lender, call your agent, call escrow, call title, whoever. Don't wire money until you're confident. That's what I'm going to say about the AI. It's that important. So Redfin came out. This is pretty awesome. So Redfin, another Housing Wire article, by the way, guys. So in this article, Redfin came out with a technology from Roomvo. And let me read you what this is. Redfin redesigns using Roomvo AI capabilities. So buyers, ready? Here we go. This is going to be amazing for you buyers. Buyers can see what they could do to a space just in a few clicks. So basically, you could going to empowers prospective buyers to imagine potential of a home while playing with different designs. So you can basically go in, I don't have all the logistics, but it's basically go in, design it, and make it cool, make it yourself. Look, the biggest challenge most of us has, we can't design, we can't think of things ourselves. So we have to go in here and design. So this will be a huge tool. So you guys can see what's going forward. Eventually, you're going to look at a house and you'll be able to probably throw furniture in there, color it, do the landscaping, all that. It's coming. So this is just the first of many. But kudos to Redfin. This will help many buyers because most of us, we cannot imagine a blank space because we haven't done enough real estate. We can't imagine what it would look like and this and that. That's one thing that I love to do is imagine what space looks like. So we had to do that for so many projects of we did. It's not that easy, but once you get a bunch down, you really can imagine it. So these tools will really help. Last article I wanted to go over. So also, I was reading another article, don't know where it came from, sorry, but divorced and stuck at home with the ex. So if you're divorced or you're getting divorced and you're stuck at home with the ex because you cannot refi or sell because it doesn't make sense to go buy something else, or this person, you can't get them off the loan and to go buy another one. Let's say you have the cash, but you're stuck on this and they're going to whack you with the payments because you're on it. Here's the thing. Not all lenders will allow this, but you can call that particular lender, and Fannie and Freddie, even though they don't let you assume loans, they might make an exception in a divorce to let you assume that loan if you qualify from your wife, your husband, and that way you can go buy your new home. Besides that, the only other thing you could do is if you can afford it, is take a HELOC out of there. You guys have a joint agreement and go buy another home. The third thing we've done before is somebody's on this home, they go out and they go on the loan with the new home with the ex. Yes, it's not fun. But the whole deal is once interest rates come down, you can usually one can refi off the other. So you got to work together. When you're getting divorced and you're trying to split things up, the best thing to do is be open-minded, be amicable because you're going to have to work together. I get it. It's not ideal, but living under one roof and having that awkwardness, it's better to try to find a situation. So there are options out there. Assume, get a line of credit, or go and help still go on with your ex and help them qualify for a new purchase. And then at some point in the future, you can refi later. But here's the kicker. If you're on this loan and they're on this loan, if you make 12 months payments here by yourself and I make 12 months payments here by myself, we will not hit you for both loans and you can just move on with life and that's fine. And eventually one day you can refi out. But for now, you're trying to move on amicably and get something done. And that's what I can really say for divorce. That's what we've done for a lot of our clients. So mortgage rates aren't causing delinquencies, disasters are. So according to this news article by our Housing Wire, man, Housing Wire, you're really just coming in here this week. So in this recent article by Housing Wire, mortgage rates aren't causing delinquencies, disasters are. And obviously we know delinquencies are going up. It's just part of the natural process of a normal market, like foreclosures and short sales and delinquencies. But in this article, they really talked about places like Maui, certain parts of Florida, and other parts of the country that have been hit by hurricanes or maybe flooding, tornadoes, fires, things like that. When those isolated areas are, delinquencies go up because people are kind of like, I'm not living here. I can't afford to live here. Or maybe they lost their business and stuff. So it's these natural disasters are actually causing rise in certain areas and mortgage delinquencies. And so this is just something that's very interesting to point out that this is another reason, obviously, with this whole cause of delinquencies, but also behind this is another reason why insurances are getting increased so hard because of all these natural disasters, because the cost to repair them and they're becoming more often. And then the insurance companies cannot bump up their rates in places like Florida and California, they're pulling out. So all these things, it's amazing when you look back at natural disasters, how much damage they really cause, from local businesses to deaths to now delinquencies and people losing houses to obviously losing insurance and you can't get reinsured. So it's very complicated out there. And this article kind of broke down of some of the areas and where we're having problems. Last but not least, I wanted to put up this chart here where there's this article that went out that Wall Street is buying all the homes and, they're going to put a bill out that says Wall Street would have to sell the properties within 10 years. Guys, here's the chart. You can look at it. I don't even go into it. 19% of all the buyers for investment properties are mom and pop, and Wall Street's literally buying 1% between the buyers and the ones that are 1,000 units or more. So Wall Street is not buying all the homes. They're actually not the problem. Yes, they're more isolated in certain areas, maybe where you live, but they're just like the Airbnb. Everybody says they're buying all the homes, and if they crash, they're going to cause a problem. These are such a small percentage of the market, and where I think we're focusing on the wrong things. What Congress and the Senate should really focus on, and Mr. Powell, is be on the side of housing. So let's get rates back down to maybe 5-6%, so we can get inventory and business moving again. Number two, we need to start building faster. So you take like a place like California, if you want to build, apartments or housing and things, it shouldn't take 5 years by the time you buy a piece of land and get it up to going. It's just ridiculous. Three, the amount of cost of associated certain places to build is out of control. The red tape and all this. Why don't we fix that? And last but not least, number four is, why aren't we incentivizing builders? Like a place like San Diego is, hey, how about you come here and build affordable housing? Well, there'll be no property taxes for 10 years and things. That's what the Dan Gilbert, who owns Rocket Mortgage, went into downtown Detroit and bought all this $1 billion of real estate and fixed it all up and basically redesigned it all, fixed it up, got all these great tenants in there and revitalized that whole spot. And yes, the city worked with them and gave them tax benefits and all this, but that's what you got to do. You got to push people to motivate to get in there and do this stuff and change it up. That's what we need, and we're not seeing enough of that. So anyways, guys, that was a long brief. I got to cut it off here. I think I've already talked too much, but look, this is a big week for information and what's going on with the Fed, and looking forward to seeing where all the reports come out. If you're not following me, follow me on social media, because I give up to date what's going on, and I give you my opinion. My opinion is based on me looking at the data and what that says. But overall, it'll be very interesting by the end of the year. So otherwise, guys, I appreciate this week. I know this one was a long one, lots to get through. There's a lot of stuff going on this week. So we have 2 more weeks next week, and then the following week after that is Christmas, and then we're into the new year. So hey, if you guys are crushing it to the end of the year and you're kicking your butt and going hard, kudos to you. That's what I'm doing. If you're on a vacation somewhere watching this and you got your feet up and you're relaxing, good for you. And hopefully you deserve that. But otherwise, until next week, appreciate you guys. Love you. I'm out.